Every time you sit down to enjoy a fresh, home-cooked meal, a familiar shadow silently appears right by your side. Your dog materializes out of nowhere, completely quiet, infinitely patient, and utterly locked onto your every single move.
They watch your fork travel from the plate to your mouth with those deep, melting eyes that can pierce your soul. It is a look that instantly makes you feel like the most selfish, cold-hearted person on the planet. For years, you have probably assumed this behavioral routine is just a basic, shameless play for your delicious dinner. You figure they are just driven by an empty stomach or a craving for whatever human food you are having. But the truth behind this daily ritual is actually something profound that you have likely never even considered before. By the time we reach the end of this countdown, the number one reason will completely transform your perspective. It will fundamentally change the way you view every single breakfast, lunch, and dinner you share with them.
This intense gazing behavior isn't actually about physical hunger, and it isn't about your pet being spoiled at all.
Instead, it is about 7 incredibly specific psychological shifts happening deep inside your dog's mind right now.
These are complex emotional and instinctual drivers that the vast majority of pet owners will never fully understand.
Let's dive straight into the psychology of canine behavior, starting off our list with number 7 on the countdown. Coming in at number 7, they are traditionally asking you for a small piece of what you have.
Let's get the most obvious surface-level explanation out of the way first, because it is undeniably a real factor.
Yes, on a very basic level, your furry companion definitely wants a taste of whatever is on the plate. Dogs are highly opportunistic scavengers by evolution, a trait finely honed over thousands of years of survival. For generations, their wild ancestors survived by staying close to human settlements and campsite cooking fires.
They learned to patiently wait for hunting parties to finish eating and toss away the unwanted meat scraps. That deeply ingrained evolutionary instinct didn't just vanish when dogs transitioned into modern, cozy households. It simply relocated from the glowing ancient campfire straight to your brightly lit contemporary kitchen table.
But here is the exact detail that most modern pet parents get completely wrong about this begging behavior.
Your dog isn't actually being greedy, demanding, or rude when they sit there staring at your plate.
They are simply running an internal biological program that is tens of thousands of years old.
When they fixate on your fork, a primitive part of their brain is still waiting by that ancient fire.
To truly understand what is happening, you need to closely observe their specific body language during meals.
A dog that is begging out of genuine physical hunger will typically be restless and move around a lot.
They will constantly shift their weight, anxiously lick their lips, whimper, or actively paw at your leg.
Conversely, a dog running that ancient scavenging program will sit perfectly still, completely locked in. They remain totally calm, making direct eye contact with the food in a highly disciplined, ritualistic manner. If your dog sits like a statue while you eat, they aren't starving, they are operating in pure scavenger mode.
It is a patient, highly focused state of mind that is entirely separate from a basic desire for calories.
This distinction is where canine psychology gets truly fascinating, leading us directly into our next major point. The next reason on our list actually has absolutely nothing to do with the food on your plate. Slotted at number 6, the dinner table is the one place they always know you will remain stationary.
Take a moment to genuinely think about how your dog perceives the flow of your typical daily routine. You leave the house for hours, you come back, and you constantly move around from room to room.
You disappear behind closed doors, you focus on your laptop, and you walk back and forth restlessly.
From your dog's specific point of view, your daily movements can seem chaotic, unpredictable, and random.
Except, of course, when it is finally time for you to sit down and eat a meal.
Mealtime represents the single most consistent, dependable appointment that your dog can completely count on every day.
Every single evening, around the exact same time, you sit in the exact same chair for a while. You will remain relatively still and focused in that one spot for 20 or 30 unbroken minutes.
You won't suddenly disappear into the garage, and you won't leave the house to run quick errands.
For a creature whose entire emotional well-being revolves around your presence, this predictability is absolutely sacred. It easily becomes the most comforting, reliable, and grounded anchor point of their entire waking day.
That is precisely why so many dogs manifest the exact moment you pull out your dining chair. They aren't even reacting to the aroma of the food yet. They are reacting to the comforting ritual. They have successfully mapped out the equation that you sitting down equals guaranteed, uninterrupted human presence.
And that pure, focused presence is truly the ultimate reward that they live for every single day.
Watch your dog very closely the next time you step into the kitchen to prepare some dinner. Do they shadow your footsteps, or do they quietly settle down on the rug right outside the kitchen zone?
That isn't aggressive begging. That is a beautiful state of happy anticipation, focused entirely on you. They are anticipating the upcoming window of time where you will be completely still, relaxed, and reachable. Now, moving forward to number 5, it isn't actually about the food. It is about your face.
Here is a fascinating psychological concept that most dog owners have never even taken the time to consider. The moment you sit down to eat a good meal, your entire facial expression undergoes a massive shift. Your tense jaw finally relaxes, your tight shoulders drop, and the stress of the day melts away. The expressions of frustration, worry, and exhaustion that you wore all day long suddenly begin to soften up. For a few brief minutes, you unintentionally transform into the absolute calmest, most peaceful version of yourself. Your incredibly perceptive dog notices this subtle physical transformation almost immediately when it happens. Remember that dogs are evolutionary masters at reading human facial expressions better than almost any animal alive.
Numerous scientific studies have explicitly proven that dogs can easily distinguish between dozens of human micro-expressions.
They accurately recognize your angry face, your stressed face, your tired face, and your genuinely happy face. They have been meticulously studying and cataloging your expressions since the very first day you brought them home.
The specific face you wear while enjoying your dinner happens to be one of their absolute favorites.
It is a face of pure contentment, completely stripped of the defensive armor you wear out in the world. When they stare up at your fork, a massive part of what they are observing is actually you.
They watch your jaw move, and they see your eyes soften as you taste something truly delicious.
They catch the tiny, subtle smile forming at the corner of your mouth when you enjoy a bite.
For your dog, that relaxed version of you is a beautiful sight they only get to witness occasionally. The dinner plate is just the setting, but the true prize for them is watching you at peace. This next reason takes us back to a deeply primitive instinct buried far down in the canine brain.
It is an ancient drive so powerful that they cannot help but act on it automatically every single day. Bringing us to number 4, they are instinctively confirming that there is enough food for the pack. In a natural wolf pack setting, food resources are never viewed as a purely individual matter. Food is entirely collective, meaning the survival of the group depends on the success of the harvest. When the alpha or dominant member of the pack eats, every other member watches the process intently. They don't do this out of desperate hunger, but because they need to gather critical survival information.
They need to visually confirm that food is successfully coming into the group's territory right now.
They need to see that the leader is eating well, which signals that a resource surplus exists.
It is also a vital way for them to mentally reaffirm their stable position within the group hierarchy.
Your domesticated dog inherited this exact evolutionary wiring completely intact from their wild, ancient ancestors.
When you start eating, a primitive part of their brain immediately begins taking a safety inventory.
They are silently asking if the leader is successfully eating and if the overall environment is secure.
That unwavering, watchful stare isn't a judgment of your plate. It is a fundamental security check.
Once they successfully confirm that the family unit is secure and operating exactly as it should be, something settles. They see the leader is fed, resources exist, and the pack is safe, allowing their anxiety to drop. This explains why many dogs will stare intensely for the first few minutes, then peacefully lie down.
They have successfully completed their instinctual protocol and verified that everything in their world is perfectly fine. Your dog isn't trying to be rude or pushy. They are executing an ancient survival mechanism.
This exact behavioral protocol is what kept their wild ancestors alive for over 40,000 years. We are officially halfway through our countdown, and the insights are only getting deeper from here on out. Before we move forward, remember what was promised about the number one ultimate reason on our list. Your dog doesn't actually want a bite of your chicken. They want something far more valuable.
They are seeking something beautiful that you have been unconsciously providing to them their entire lives. Let's keep moving through the list to unveil the final pieces of this fascinating canine puzzle. Landing smoothly at number 3, they have learned the exact psychological moment that you will break.
This particular behavioral insight is almost certainly going to bring a knowing smile to your face. Your dog is an absolute master student when it comes to analyzing your personal human psychology. Over months and years of quiet observation, they have collected a mountain of data on you.
They have successfully answered one highly specific question. At what exact moment do you finally cave in?
They know precisely which types of meals make you feel the most generous and willing to share.
They have figured out that breakfast is much harder to score a scrap from than a relaxed dinner. They know that when you are distracted by the television, your structural defenses are significantly lower.
They realize that on lazy Sundays, you tend to share way more food than on busy Tuesdays.
They have mastered the exact head tilt and expression required to maximize their chances of success. This isn't malicious emotional manipulation. It is a display of pure, adaptable canine intelligence at work. Your dog has essentially run thousands of real-time psychological experiments on you over the years. They test tiny variations in how close they sit, how long they maintain unwavering eye contact, and sound.
They note whether a quiet whimper or absolute silence yields the best statistical percentage of food rewards. Right, absolute silence, right. Yes, that's it. The specific look your dog gives you is the ultimate product of years of behavioral data collection.
They have already calculated a high probability that you will surrender a piece by bite number 6.
And deep down inside your heart, you secretly love the fact that they have completely figured you out. This brings us right to the doorstep of our final 2 entries, where the meaning deepens significantly. Stepping into number 2, sitting by your side is a powerful, sacred ritual of true belonging. In the wild world of a wolf pack, eating together is never just about consuming calories for survival. It is the ultimate expression of core social identity and unity within the collective group. The act of sharing space and watching the pack eat reinforces their connection to the family unit.
Modern domesticated dogs have carried this beautiful social ritual forward into our human living rooms today.
When your dog stations themselves right at your feet during dinner, they are performing a historic ceremony. They are using their physical presence to silently declare that they are an active part of this family. Pay close attention to how your dog behaves when you eat completely alone versus with other people. If your dog shares an exceptionally deep bond with one person, they will always sit at their feet.
They won't necessarily choose the person who drops the most food, because the food isn't the priority. Good boy, buddy. You're my best friend. The real priority for your dog is basking in the pure feeling of absolute togetherness and alignment.
This core instinct is also why some dogs become genuinely distressed when you exclude them from meals. If you take a plate of food and lock yourself away in another room, they might scratch.
They aren't trying to be demanding or annoying. They feel painfully excluded from the family bonding ritual.
For your devoted canine companion, your personal mealtime represents the official daily gathering of the pack.
It is a beautiful, recurring ceremony that explicitly reassures them that the entire family unit is whole.
And now, we have finally arrived at the number 1 reason that changes absolutely everything.
Number 1, they are silently asking you the most important question of their entire life. Here is the profound truth that most owners never realize, but behaviorists know to be true. In the complex emotional and psychological framework of a dog, food is directly equated with pure love.
The very first relationship your dog ever experienced in their life was entirely built around food resources. Their mother fed them, kept them warm, protected them, and represented the definition of ultimate survival.
In a canine brain, being fed by someone and being loved by someone are completely identical concepts.
The moment you welcomed your dog into your home, you fully inherited that sacred parental role.
You instantly became the great provider, the protector, and the center of their entire emotional universe.
Every single bowl of kibble you serve registers as vastly more than basic vitamins and physical nutrition. It registers as a profound, beautiful confirmation that you still want them as part of your life. Now, reframe what your dog is actually doing when they intently watch you eat your dinner.
They are watching the most important person in their entire world consume what keeps them alive. And through that quiet, unwavering gaze, they are asking a deeply touching emotional question every single day. It is a question they ask through 1,000 tiny behaviors, like resting their head on your knee. They ask it when they follow you to the bathroom or stare lovingly from across the room.
They are softly asking if they are still safe, still wanted, and still deeply loved by you.
When you break eye contact, smile, and slide them a tiny scrap, you are answering that question. You aren't just spoiling them with a treat,
you are validating their place in your heart.
You are explicitly telling them that they are yours, that you love them, and that you share everything. That is precisely why that one tiny, insignificant scrap of food means the absolute world to them. It has nothing to do with the actual flavor, but everything to do with emotional validation and safety.
It is the moment you speak their language and tell them exactly what they need to hear. Right. That is why when you ignore them entirely, they might walk away and let out a heavy sigh. It isn't because they missed out on a piece of meat, but because the answer felt uncertain.
So the next time your dog appears by your chair, look at them with a new perspective. Recognize that you are witnessing a beautiful, silent conversation built on pure devotion, trust, and love.
If this deep dive into canine psychology resonated with you, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you for watching. Please take extra special care of your wonderful dogs, and we will see you next time.